Here are the test scores for the guy you filled out the form for. He scored a B minus. This guy is a risky bet. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He is unlikely to go far in his career, even if he sometimes talks big. Most of the time, he's not putting in the hard work or showing much excitement about climbing higher. If you are looking for someone who keeps his word and really strives for success, you may be disappointed.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he usually doesn't break down or make a big fuss, but he also doesn't fight hard to bounce back. He tends to take things as they come, keeping quiet and calm, but not putting extra effort into fixing problems or proving himself. This attitude can bring peace, but also a sense of being stuck if challenges keep piling up.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work might not dislike him, but he isn't exactly popular or deeply respected either. He tends to keep to himself, avoids arguments, and doesn't stir up drama. If you hope for a man who's known for his kindness or leadership in the office, he won't stand out that way.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he is unlikely to feel insecure or threatened. He tends to keep to himself and doesn't measure his worth by comparing with others. So your success won't bruise his ego. While he may not jump up and cheer loudly, he will not compete or show jealousy either.
What if you start earning more than him?
He is not likely to secretly resent you or feel insecure if you earn more than him. Money and status don't seem to be a big deal for him, and he doesn't make comparisons or let pride get in the way. While he might not make a big deal out of your achievements, he also won't try to pull you down.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He doesn't usually handle money in a very careful or planned way. He isn't organized about saving or budgeting, so sometimes he might spend without really thinking things through. He may buy things that catch his eye or spend on small pleasures, not always looking at the bigger picture.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He is more likely to live a life he can afford rather than pretending to be richer than he is. He doesn't chase after status or try to impress people with flashy things, so there's not much pretending or showing off. While he's not the best at careful planning, He also isn't wasting money to create a fake image.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He isn't especially open handed or kind, but he's also not unusually tight with money or his mindset. He tends to keep to himself and isn't quick to go out of his way for others. So you might not see grand acts of generosity or warmth from him. At the same time, he's not harsh or stingy, just a bit distant and not very involved.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is generally open about money and not secretive or controlling. He doesn't have strong feelings or clever plans about finances, so he's unlikely to hide things from you or make big decisions behind your back. Just be aware that you might need to take charge if clear planning and security matter to you.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He is not the type to insist that housework is only your job, but he's also not likely to take the lead or suggest sharing it equally. He tends to be laid back and may leave chores until someone else handles them rather than stepping up on his own. If you want help with housework, you'll probably need to ask directly and even remind him, as it's not something he will organize or manage by himself.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He is not someone who will jump up to help with chores or diapers on his own. Most likely, he will hang back and might only do tasks if you ask him directly, and even then, he could need reminders. He doesn't see household work as your job, but he isn't naturally motivated to pitch in either.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't usually argue just to prove he's right, nor does he fight over small issues. At the same time, he may not put in a lot of effort to truly understand your side. It's not that he's stubborn, he's just quite passive in disagreements.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's likely to stay quiet and avoid saying hurtful things or acting aggressive. He doesn't let his emotions explode or use harsh words, and you shouldn't expect shouting or mean behavior from him. Instead, he might withdraw, keeping his feelings to himself and letting the moment pass without much drama.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, this is not the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. He stays calm even when things go wrong and rarely loses his temper or reacts harshly. His calm nature is usually a good thing and not something you should see as a red flag.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He is unlikely to blame you when something goes wrong, but he also may not be quick to say sorry or take full responsibility. Most of the time, he will just stay quiet and not make a fuss about whose fault it is. He keeps things peaceful by not blaming, but you might wish he would be a bit more open and willing to own his part.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he is likely to respect your boundaries and understand that no means no. He isn't pushy or forceful and tends to go with the flow rather than insisting on having his way. This makes him someone you can feel safe with when it comes to your personal space and choices.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he's not the kind of man who will take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He tends to accept things quietly and won't see your decision as a rejection or react with anger or hurt feelings. If you want peace and respect for your comfort, he will give you the space you need.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He's not the kind to use personal things to hurt or embarrass you later. Even if you argue, he isn't someone who gets revengeful or tries to shame you.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is generally faithful and not easily distracted by other women. He isn't very enthusiastic or outgoing, so he doesn't chase after excitement or look for new attention. If loyalty and calmness matter to you, this man provides that stability.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive, jealous, or controlling. He is easygoing and tends to trust you instead of always watching or questioning your actions. If you like your freedom and peace, his relaxed attitude will let you breathe easily in the relationship.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, a protective nature is not a cover for being controlling. He's not the type to watch over you closely, set strict rules, or interfere with your choices in the name of looking out for you. You won't have to worry about his care turning into control or loss of your independence.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He is more likely to expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting, even if he doesn't say it out loud. He tends to be hands off and laid back, so he usually waits for you to handle the busy tasks and decisions about the kids. Don't expect him to step up and share all the responsibilities unless you ask for specific help or guide him.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
He will stay calm when the kids mess up or get upset. He doesn't lose his temper or shout, and he's not someone who reacts with anger when things go wrong. Still, you don't have to worry about angry outbursts or harsh words with the children.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is likely to quietly accept your role as both a mother and your own person without making demands or putting pressure on you. He won't interfere much or insist that you focus only on one part of your life. But you won't face resistance or criticism from him about who you choose to be.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the kind of man who will support your career in the beginning and then later ask you to quit after you have a child. He is quite relaxed and not pushy about your choices, whether it's about your work or your role at home. He doesn't put much pressure on you to change your path for his sake or the family's.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. He's quiet and keeps to himself, so while he doesn't create problems or act rude, he doesn't go out of his way to build close, loving bonds either. You might have to take the lead in keeping family relationships warm and lively. He is mostly likely to go with the flow and quietly adjust to your family rather than expecting them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly rather than make things worse. He doesn't get angry quickly or jump into arguments, so you're unlikely to see loud fights or drama from his side. His calm nature helps keep the peace, even if it means he's a bit distant.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
No, he is not the kind of man who will act modern with you but secretly expect you to be a traditional, supportive wife in front of his relatives. He isn't focused on appearances or strict about roles, so he won't put on an act or set different rules just for family gatherings. You are unlikely to face sudden pressure to dress, act, or behave a certain way just to please his relatives.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than openly support you or side with his family. He doesn't like getting involved in conflicts, and his calm, quiet nature means he will avoid taking sides or making big statements. You may feel alone handling family stress, as he prefers to let issues sort themselves out instead of jumping in to help or defend anyone.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He's not strongly a mummy's boy, but he's also not someone who will quickly choose your side in a conflict with his mother. Most often, he will try to avoid the conflict altogether, staying quiet and letting things settle on their own. He doesn't have a habit of defending just one person and rarely gets involved in arguments.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
He is not the type to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He tends to be quiet about personal matters and keeps things to himself rather than looking for outside advice or attention. This helps build trust and keeps your relationship matters private.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all we know about him, this guy is a B minus. This guy is a risky bet from a relationship perspective. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out feels calm and mostly drama free, but also a bit quiet and routine. You'll find peace, as he doesn't argue much or cause big problems, but you may sometimes wish for more warmth, excitement, or teamwork.